So one of the biggest upgrades for my business was when I started doing live workshops. So the first workshop I ever did was in 2007. Now this is 2 years after I'd come out with Product Launch Formula, and I had this big audience of people that I figured would be interested in coming to see a workshop of all the new stuff I'd learned. And I probably started speaking on stage in around 2003, and I was never one of those people that went on like the circuit and every weekend went to a different city and spoke, but I'd spoken 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I'd realized that I was actually pretty comfortable on stage and people really seemed to connect with me. So it seemed like a strength of mine. So I decided to put together a workshop. And really the key reason behind the workshop was it'd been 2 years since Product Launch Formulas came out. I was looking at putting out Product Launch Formula 2.0 in the not too distant future. And I thought I'd do a workshop and I just shoot video of the workshop and then use the video of the workshop as the product. The product could be done. And so a funny thing happened is, first of all, I priced the workshop at $5,000. I wanted to create a real high-end event. We had 100 seats. I got a room for 100 people. I wanted to limit it to a small group, so we had a pretty small, intimate experience. Sold it out very, very quickly, which is really great. I gave my Product Launch Formula owners a discount off the $5,000. I gave them a credit for all the money they'd spent on Product Launch Formula. So everything was great. And then I walked in, and a couple things happened. First of all, I wanted them to have my attendees to have the greatest experience, and I quickly realized it would be a better experience if it was super interactive and it was a true workshop environment. And so that ended up, the bottom line is the video from the event was not good enough to create the 2.0 version of the product. It was more free-flowing, more me teaching it. If you think of yourself like in a college class, if they just shot a college class where the professor's very interactive with the students, it's not going to make for a great product. But what it did is it made for an incredible atmosphere, an incredible learning atmosphere, an incredible family atmosphere. And I realized something at that point is that this is a skill I had, was working live in an event and creating an incredible, immersive learning environment where people are working together and we create a community right there inside the event. And that learning was way more important than this idea that I'd use the video to create the product. Because later on, I just reshot the product in the studio and it worked out just great. But having that experience of creating that event, absolutely epic. And it's interesting because I never, when I started out, you heard the story. I was desperate. I was a stay-at-home dad. I started publishing via email. When I started out, it was email. And then it was an email and a website. And there was no video, and there was no speaking on stage, and there were certainly no events. I never dreamed I would be doing that stuff, but boom, all of a sudden I'm doing it, and it was a real strength. And so it's grown since then. And I think I did my next event in 2009, I did one in 2010, and then I started doing PLF Live every single year. And I've been doing that ever since 2010. And to show you where it's grown up, our last couple of events, we've had 1,000 people. I mean, absolutely epic energy. And what it has done for my brand is, it's helped me build my mastermind, because that's where I attract the people into my mastermind. And that's where I sort of cull through them and decide which ones I'm going to take. So I've got this great mastermind because of PLF Live. And I've got this great PLF Live community. And when we bring them in and have this amazing event, then that's just the most... It's the place where you can make the biggest impact on people. When you get in a room and you're face to face, it's the best learning environment. It's the best motivational environment. And we started having far more PLF owners take advantage of, or not take advantage, but actually do a launch. And of course, the more of them that do a launch and have success, the more it builds my brand, because they go out there and they tell more people about it. So PLF Live in particular and live events have been huge. Actually, right now I'm launching a second event just this year, first time ever. It's called LaunchCon, and we'll go ahead and put up something on this video so you can click through to LaunchCon. And it's basically going to be a seminar, or it's going to be a conference for the entire launch industry, the entire launch world, Whereas PLF Live is me on stage pretty much the entire time. No one else, there's really almost no outside speakers. Sometimes there's one outside speaker besides me. Sometimes I might have two, but it's me on stage for 85, 90% of the time. LaunchCon, I'm going to be bringing in my most successful students, and they're going to be teaching a lot of their findings. So it's LaunchCon, I'm really excited. This is one of the new things we've done. And I've just, a few years ago, I didn't know I had this capability of putting on an event and creating an amazing event. And like everything else in this business, it's just one step after another and gradually getting a little bit more professional, a little bit better, and a little bit better, and a little bit better. And all of a sudden, boom, we've already got 500 people registered for LaunchCon. It's a brand new event. I have not even rolled it out in a big way. I haven't told any partners about it. Just a few emails to my list. We've got 500 people registered. So it's absolutely amazing. I hope you join me at LaunchCon. It's going to be fantastic. But the key here, first of all, is live events are fantastic. So if you have an inkling of putting on a live event, go for it. And then the other big thing is you have capabilities that you haven't discovered yet. I had no idea that I could do video. I had no idea that I could speak on stage. I had no idea I could put on events. You have capabilities and strengths that you don't even know yet, that you haven't even tapped yet. And you just have to get out there and try it. Get out there and try it. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work. You don't do it again. But that's what this business is all about. It's about moving forward, expand your capabilities, and just those baby steps. So I'm Jeff Walker. If you're just scroll on down and leave a comment wherever you're watching this, if it's on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page or my blog at jeffwalker.com. Scroll down, leave a comment, tell me what you thought. If you think this could be useful to someone, go ahead and share it with them, and let's go get them this week.